Ballad of Desperate Dan. 'Twas nary a man like Desperate Dan, 'twas nary a man like he, who rode his horse like a hurricane fresh from the southern sea. With a 6-gun in each holster and a rifle on his back, he'd stand there right in front of you like a bulldog in his track, to shoot you through at the drop of a hat or cut you up with a knife was nothing much. He didn't care, not even for his life. Old Dan was coming from town one day, and out jumped some men, a dozen I'd say. First he shot one dead like a bird on the fly, and his bullet caught Ted right in the eye. So the others took flight, while he carved up Bob, and with his bare hands, friend, he finished the job. Off Dan rode up over a ridge, and there was a polecat a-crossin' the bridge. Do you think that Dan would turn left or right? No, sir. He kept going with all of his might. When the polecat saw he weren't changing his pace, why, he up and shot Farley square in the face. Now that weren't so bad, stated Dan with a shrug, as he pulled off his sock to dry up his mug. There's nothing quite like a squirt of skunk juice to warm up a man and make him feel loose. What good are the hills without valleys between? And who'd value kindness if people weren't mean? Soon Dan returned to the road as before, when he and the skunk had evened the score. Around a big bend and up a small trail, when out jumped a mountain lion, big tooth and nail. There wasn't the time to pull out his gun, and Farley he wasn't the type that would run. So into its arms with a bold flashing knife, and all through the woods the noise of the strife rose up like a bedlam on Halloween's Eve, or a dealer that's caught with an ace of his sleeve. First the cat tried the bear hug, till Dan Farley's head, like Rudolph's big red nose, was shiny and red. 'Twas next old Dan's 10 toes the feline fixed on. He gnawed 'em and chewed 'em until they was gone. So the conflict kept up till the sunlight was long and the shadows crept over the hill. But nor whimper nor word from Dan Farley was heard till the big cat lay silent and still. Then up jumped old Dan to his feet like a flash, and swift through the darkening forest he dashed, a-thumping, a-pumping, with heart in a whirl, as if he'd just seen all the demons that swirl in the treetops around us on Saturday night, who know that on Sunday they gotta sit tight, for then it's the church folk whose will holds the sway, and they bind up those demons with the words that they pray. But what is this thing that made old Dan fear, as now to his cabin he quickly drew near? With trembling hands he opened the door, with bones all a-shaking he covered the floor. "I'm sorry, I'm late, Tootsie darling, tonight. It won't happen again, I promise with all my might."